Hey guys, my name is Bharat and I'm the creator of Bharat in Germany. This is the episode 6, season 3 of A Day in Life of a Student in Germany, where we show you lifestyles of students studying in different German universities. In this video, we have Siddharth with us, who is studying at Hochschule Rhein-Waal. Let's take a look.
Hi guys, my name is Siddharth and I'm from Mumbai, and I'm currently pursuing my master's in bionics with the specialization in robotics at Hochschule Rhein-Waal in the state of North Rhine-Westphalia in Germany. I'm in Germany since 6 years now. I completed my student colleague, my bachelor's, and I'm currently even doing my master's here. So I would like to even share my experience so far, and also this video will kind of be a little different because now I've moved to a new city where I am an intern, and I will show you how my day as an intern goes by. Yeah, so let's get started. In 2015, also end of 2015, I came to Germany for my student colleague. It lasted for 9 months, and you learned the basics of engineering and German, which is essential because once your bachelor starts, you do not get enough time to learn the language and even overcome the cultural shock. So when I started with my bachelor's here, which was in 2016, I started it in mechatronics systems engineering. I chose it because I was not sure back then if I wanted to go in the mechanical direction or the electrical direction or the computer science direction. So the safest choice for me was to go in mechatronics systems engineering because you have all three in a certain amount, and it kind of pretty much helped me because by the end of the degree I was able to decide, okay, this is something I like and this is something I don't like. Yeah, it was a 7 semester course in which one semester was for compulsory internship and one semester was for a bachelor thesis. So every student in Germany has to do a bachelor thesis unless you are from an IT degree, because then you can do a final year project instead of a thesis. So when I started with my bachelor's, I made sure that I had good academics because they are the first thing that will help you get an internship. Yeah, because the companies know you have no prior experience. They are going to judge you on the basis of your CV and your academics. And luckily, because my academics were good, my professor recommended me to one of his former colleagues, which helped me get an internship position at a very amazing company, Friedrichshafen. And I did my internship there for 6 months, and then I did my bachelor thesis there as well for 6 months in the area of autonomous driving. By the end of my thesis, I kind of realized that this was not something I really wanted to go ahead with in my life. So I like more of coding tasks, and in the automotive industry, it's more about developing things. After a year, I thought that no, like I want to be more of a developer. So that was my point where I decided, okay, I need to make some change. That the timing was even perfect for me because I graduated in March, April 2020, and which was like the peak of COVID. So all the automotives were on a hiring freeze, and I knew that instead of just waiting for applying for a job and spending 6-7 months, I just thought that let's just get started with my masters and learn more and go in the direction where I wanted to go. I applied to a lot of universities while I was doing my thesis, so I got into most of them, and I essentially didn't know where to go, but I thought of going back to my university because in spite of getting from well-ranked universities, I thought that it makes more sense for me to go back to my university because I know how the university works. I know everyone back in my university. I know how the labs work. I know everything. So it won't be much of a challenge to find a new house or to get accustomed with how things work in the university. I had my student portal, everything was there, so I didn't have that hassle. And that definitely depends from person to person. People who love to go in the research direction, definitely a TU is recommended because They get more financing from the government, which thereby helps you to work on more interesting projects. For me, I'm more of a guy who likes to do new things again and again. Instead of just becoming a specialist, I'm more of a generalist. So I started with my masters, and luckily both my semesters were online. So I prefer online learning because it saves me a lot of time, which I use to do my own projects. So I did a lot of AI projects, a lot of software projects, and that's how you learn in the end, because that's what you're going to show to your future recruiter that okay, I've done these things. No one cares about theory, really. Like, you will learn basics at the university, you will probably code a small project, let's say, but in the end, every recruiter wants to see okay, what are the real life scenarios you worked on. And that's why I would recommend that whenever you start your master's study or even bachelor's, make sure you do a lot of self study. Because if you're doing your bachelor's and if you don't want to do your master's in any technical field, then the best thing is when you have those 4 years where you do a lot of self projects. And that was the mistake I did not have anyone to guide me through my bachelor's, and I was just focused on getting done with my studies at the university and stuff like that. But now that I've been in the industry, I know okay, like whatever they teach you at the university is just basics, and the industry is moving so fast every day that you have to keep up with it or you're just going to be left behind. One thing what I realized during my end of bachelor's was that I lacked the networking skills. I lacked people I didn't know people who were in a good who were good for my career perspective. So I decided to join a MBA program, a online MBA program, which wasn't as costly as a normal MBA, and it costed me around 800 euros. It's known as the Power MBA, but you learn a lot about business models, how lean startup, like digital marketing, financing, etc. The normal MBAs, yeah, but more of the digital work. So the how digital companies work and grow, which is like the state of the art. And the good part about that, my main reason to join it was because it was a global program, and currently there are around 800 students from Germany itself. And by students, I mean people who are working in companies at managerial levels. I would say I'm the youngest in that program because not many university students join that program. So for me, it was a very good thing in networking perspective because you get to know a lot of people. There are networking events every month, and in Germany if there would be no pandemic, there would be offline events in the major 6-7 cities in Germany. But currently, because of the restrictions, it's all online. But yet you have Telegram groups and LinkedIn groups, and people discuss things, and you can share your stuff, what you've done, and people guide you in the right direction in your industry. So for me, that was a really helpful thing. Definitely, if you are even in any other field and if you really want to grow your network, then if you don't want to spend money, then what you can do is connect people on LinkedIn. Like, just look up for a company you like, look at the people who are working there, just send them a request, send them a note that okay, I'm looking for an internship and I've done this and I'm interested in this. Don't feel shy, because everybody knows that it is going to be your first job or maybe your first experience abroad, and they know that you need someone to guide you and help you. So just don't be shy. Like, people in Germany are amazing. And I was even asking my other friends and colleagues if they had any openings in their companies, because I made a lot of friends back in my bachelor's as well, and some of them got jobs, so they knew if there were positions or not. And one of my friends, he luckily told me that they had a position in their company. So I applied for it and I got an interview, and the interview was pretty good. The astonishing part was my manager. He was amazing, and more than the technical aspect, he was more interested in my soft skills. And that's what made me realize that okay, it's not always about what you study, but it's always about how ready and how you are able to overcome a situation. Like, how do you think, in what direction do you think, will you help that person grow his business or not? And that's what I thought, that yeah, from now you don't think from a student perspective, but you think from an employer perspective. What does he want? Like, what would he like to see in me? And think that, are you able to provide him? Are you able to give him those deliverables? If you're not, then you have to work on it. and luckily I got the position, and now I'm currently in Berlin, and I started my internship in March. My company is in Potsdam in Brandenburg, and I am staying in Berlin. So it's just commute. So I commute. If I would be working at the office, I would be commuting 30 minutes one way. But because right now everything is online, there are crazy restrictions in Berlin. So I'm working from home. I would say that don't discourage yourself from learning German, because if you learn German, you just open 3 times more the opportunities than what you would have. Now I will be showing how my life as an intern looks like. So, good morning, guys, and today I will be showing you how my day usually looks like. So, I've just woken up, and the first thing I do is I put some water to make tea, and simultaneously I brush and freshen up. But before I show you how my kitchen and my bathroom looks, I would like to show you my room. So, this is my room, and here is my bed, and there is a small drawer there where I keep my clothes. So I don't have more of, let's say, wardrobes, but I have a hanging place where I can hang my jackets, and also some place for small things. I have a small, let's say, a shelf here where I put my spices and my food stuff, and there are 3 shelves essentially. So the last one is for my shoes, and this is my workstation. So I usually, when I'm working from home, uh, I have a monitor connected to my laptop, and usually it's a good thing if you have 2 monitors, so it definitely increases your productivity. So coming into the kitchen, this is how my kitchen looks like, and as you can see, I put some tea, and I live on the 4th floor, so it's kind of fun to, when you're cooking, you have some good view from here, and the air is good as well. And you definitely, as a student, you will definitely love cooking with time, because that's one part of your day where you're just being creative, and because you want to eat something definitely yummy, you will come up with new recipes, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be fun. And this is how my washroom looks like. So I have a shower tub, and I'm essentially sharing the house with 2 more people. Both of them are Germans, one girl, one guy. And it definitely is challenging to stay in a WG with completely 2 random people. But with time, you overcome that fear that, okay, you are more open, you essentially express more. Like if you don't like something, if they're not clean, you go and tell them that, yeah, this is not clean, I don't like it. And never feel shy, because cleanliness is definitely good. And if someone's not keeping up with the rules of Germany, like for the dustbins or whatever, just tell them, because they could be fined, you could be fined as well. And now I'll be brushing my teeth, and we'll meet after, let's say, my shower. Yeah. So guys, now I've showered, I'm ready to go to work, but before that I have my breakfast, and today I'll be having some cheese toast, but usually I even have milk with muesli. And apart from that, I would say that the dress code in companies really doesn't matter in Germany, because a lot of people, they wear semi-formal clothes, and it's usually a shirt with jeans or a pullover with jeans. And during summers, a lot of my colleagues, they even just come in shorts. So at least my previous colleagues, and I'm hoping the same for this company. And it's very common here that during summers people just wear shorts and a short t-shirt and just come to work. So there's nothing like having to wear formal clothes every day. And now after this I'll get out for my work, and it's the journey is around 40 minutes in total. So it takes me around 5 to 7 minutes with the e-scooty to reach the station. So I usually don't take the e-scooty, but today I'm running a bit late, so I will be taking the e-scooty, and I will be that costs around 50 cents per minute, and it's a ride of around 5 minutes or so. So it'll cost me around 2.5 euros. And then I will get into the train, and the journey in the train is around 20 minutes. And once I reach my destination station, I walk it up to my company, or I take a bus. And the bus is included as well, in because I take a pass for the ABC region in Berlin, which includes Potsdam as well. It costs me around 10 euros for the whole day for 24/7 ticket. And if I'm taking a monthly pass, then it would cost me cheaper, so it would be 100 euros, and I can travel everywhere in the ABC region for 100 euros. But currently, because I'm working from home, I just buy daily passes and then the company reimburses that for me. So I'll have some breakfast. We get going, yeah? So now I'm on my way to my office, and as I was saying, I would be taking a electric scooty, and this is it. So there are several brands, several companies that offer this service, like Lime and Foy and Bird. I personally prefer Foy because it's a bit cheaper than the others, and it takes 50 cents to unlock the bike, and then around 20 cents per minute. So approximately the cost should come up to 2 or 2.5 euros. And now I will be unlocking my bike, so I'll just use the app and scan it, and then my bike will be unlocked. And because I'll be riding, I'll see you directly at the station now. So now we've reached our station for the nearest station to my office, and now I'll be taking a bus to go to my office. I just got off the bus now, and I will be essentially going to my workplace, and unfortunately I cannot film inside. I will start filming again when I'm leaving from my workplace. So yeah, I'm back from my work, and this is how Berlin Hauptbahnhof looks like in the evening. And that is the U-Bahn station, and from above you can find all the S-Bahns and the regional Bahns. And as you can see, the station is kind of empty now because of the COVID rules. There is curfew post 10 o'clock. But yeah. So guys, now I'm going to make some pasta for dinner, and there's some cheese, pasta, oil, tomato, paprika, some garlic, and yep, let's get started, yeah. Coming to the end, so now I would like to just conclude the video with some important tips for the new incoming students as to what they should be careful about and what they should do. So tip number 1 is learn the language. Do not, because if you are planning to come to Germany, if you learn the language, you overcome the language barrier easily and you integrate pretty well. If you come here and you see that, okay, I do not speak the language, what you will do, which is point number 2, is you will end up meeting and just being around the people from your own community or the people who speak English, which means that that has its own drawback. When you are in your own community, you're not going to expand your knowledge, you're not going to know other cultures, you're not going to know how things work in a different country. And this is bad because if you are looking to work here in the future, you need to know things around the country as well as about the country. And these are topics which you could later on use for small talks with people. That, okay, if you meet someone from Portugal, for example, you could say, okay, I know this about your country, or someone from Belgium or someone from France. But if you are just in your own community, you know everything about your community, but you don't know how other things work. And that's a really bad thing to do. Just make sure you get out of your comfort zone, meet new people, talk to more people, don't feel shy, just talk. Point number 3 is that whenever you start your studies, if it's bachelor's or if it's your master's, make sure that you are in close proximity with your professors. If your academics are good and the professor remembers you, okay, that I know this guy and he's been attending my classes, you are in his good eyes, yeah. And sometimes it works out that because most of the university, the professors they teach, they have work experience before they became professors, and they know a lot of people in the industry. A lot of people come to them to give these projects to students. So if the professor knows you, you will be the first person he contacts. That okay, I know this guy. I know this guy can do this. I can probably offer him this. You can sometimes end up getting a position at the university. I have worked at the university as a research assistant, and it was a wonderful time. I work for two professors, and you get to learn a lot. You get to work with real projects which are paid by outside companies or someone or any other research organizations who want the research to be done. And it's definitely fun. You earn some money, so why not? Just make sure you are in the good eyes of professors and talk to them. Number 4 is that when you come here, learn how to save money as well. So if you're earning, and do not just spend everything up. Like there are several ways of saving. You can get a credit card like American Express. For every purchase you do, you get cashbacks. You end up saving 40-50 euros a month, which is quite a lot, I would say. And as a student, it's a lot. And you can essentially use that. You can invest it somewhere else, but make sure you use your money carefully. It can be overwhelming that you come to a new country and you get your freedom and you end up spending so much, but just be in a direction. Like, I'm not saying do not party, everyone does party, but make sure that you are in the right direction and you do not lose hope down the way. The last point I would like to point out is that when you are doing your masters, make sure that if you are in a field where you can work online, you can work remotely, and you can do your projects remotely, that you do not need to access your labs. Just make sure you're done with your exams as soon as possible, because if you are not studying in a very big city, if you're studying in a small town, which means that there are very limited opportunities nearby, you have to move to a bigger city. There's Hamburg for production and logistics, even for IT. There's Berlin definitely for IT. Munich and Stuttgart are for more of the automotive domain, the robotics domain. So these are some different regions. They have their own speciality, and if you are not in that region, you are not going to get the dream job, or at least the job in the direction you're studying in. So get done with your exams and just move out of your place, because if you move out of the town, you are out of your comfort zone. You know that okay, now it's the world against me. I have to find something to make sure that I survive in this country, because if I go back to my university town, I'm not going to find any job there. And that's what will put you on fire and say, okay, it's time to get started. Yeah. And lastly, that do a lot of self projects, do a lot of reading, like technical reading if your studies are technical. Do a lot of things. Read about the state of the art technologies or the methods what are used in your domain, because once you know what's happening in the real world, you choose those topics and implement them in your projects, and then show them in your CV. So when the recruiter sees your CV, he will say, okay, this guy has worked on something that is relevant to us today, not something that was relevant to us 2 years back. And that's what will definitely get you a position in the place you want, because that's what many students do. They just stick to the university curriculum, to a project, and get done with their masters, and then the job search starts, and oh my god, like, you don't know what you're doing now. You are under that pressure that I just have 1.5 years and I need to find something, and etc. Just plan beforehand, plan 1 year beforehand, and you'll be good to go. With that, I'd like to thank everyone, and yeah, make sure you subscribe to Bharat, because his videos are pretty interesting.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Siddharth didn't just do his student colleague in Germany, he also did his bachelor's, and now he's doing his master's and also doing an internship on the side. So that was very interesting. Because of this, we are going to be interviewing him for another video where we are going to go into more details about his experience of studying in Germany through these 3 different phases of his life. Keep an eye out for this video. If you want to get featured in the series, write to us an email at adayinlife@bharatingermany.com and we'll get back to you. See you in the next one.